Welcome to HDTV. You now rocking with Joe Boy. So now, if you've been under a rock or you've been working like I do, you found out that the Baltimore Ravens have released safety Earl Thomas after on-field altercation. And this is by Jamison Hensley, and it was on August 23rd, which is Kobe's B-Day, which was yesterday. The Baltimore Ravens are abruptly parting ways with seven-time Pro Bowl safety Earl Thomas 2 days after an on-field altercation with teammate Chuck Clark, which the team announced. The Ravens announced they had terminated Thomas' contract for personal conduct that has adversely affected the team. The Ravens are expected to try to void his $10 million guaranteed salary this season. It is expected the safety will file a grievance. A source told ESPN's Adam Schefter that Thomas punched Clark during Friday's practice. Thomas posted on his Instagram story 21 minutes after the Ravens officially announced his release. Appreciate the Ravens organization for the opportunity, he wrote. Had a great run. Wish things would have ended different, but you live and you learn. Thank you, Ravens GM Eric DeCosta and everyone else who played a role in bringing him to BMORE. Wish you guys the best. Thomas, which is 31, was sent home Friday and has not returned to the Ravens facility. Hasn't returned to the Ravens facility since his on-field altercation with Clark. This was the second fiery exchange with a teammate for Thomas, who confronted nose tackle Brandon Williams after a loss to Cleveland 11 months ago. Thomas also missed or was late to several meetings throughout his 17 months in Baltimore, a source added. The Dallas Cowboys are the leading contender to sign Thomas, sources told Schefter. After Sunday's practice, Coach John Harbaugh refused to comment beyond the team's 16-word tweet announcing Thomas' release. I think the statement speaks for itself, Harbaugh said. There's not much more to add to that, just planning on leaving it at that at this point. Harbaugh declined to discuss whether the players talked to him about Thomas and whether that impacted the release. No reason to, Harbaugh said. Did the players have any role in the team's decision to part ways with Thomas? Like I said, I'm going to leave it at the statement, he said. Harbaugh was then asked whether he could talk about what Thomas gave the Ravens and what the team will miss with him gone. And he said, "No, I'm good," Harbaugh said. "We're good moving forward. All eyes ahead." The Ravens wanted to split from Thomas so badly that they are willing to take a major financial hit and move forward without a proven replacement for him. They will take a $15 million salary cap hit for releasing him unless they are able to void his $10 million guaranteed salary this season for conduct detrimental to the team. If the Ravens can avoid paying him the guaranteed money, Thomas will count $5 million against the cap this season and $10 million next year. Without Thomas, the Ravens are inexperienced at free safety. Deshaun Elliott, a 2018 sixth-round pick, is expected to step in for Thomas for now. The Ravens like his aggressiveness and upside, but Elliott has been limited to 6 games in 2 NFL seasons because of injury. It's his time, so here we go, Harbaugh said. This marks the second tumultuous divorce for Thomas. His 9 years in Seattle ended with him extending middle finger to Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll while being carted off the field with a leg injury. A little over a year and a half ago, the Ravens were lauded for luring Thomas away from his verbal agreement with the Kansas City Chiefs and signing, from his verbal agreement with the Kansas City Chiefs and signing him to a 4-year, $55 million deal, the largest given to a defensive player in franchise history. Thomas reached a Pro Bowl in his first and only season in Baltimore, but he struggled mightily at times. He gave up on an 88-yard touchdown run by Cleveland Browns running back Nick Chubb in Week 4 and then got stiff-armed by Tennessee Titans running back Derrick Henry in the playoffs. The breaking point came Friday in the team's fourth training camp practice of the year. After Thomas blew a coverage, Clark angrily ripped off his helmet and threw it to the ground. Thomas then punched Clark. A source said both players were separated by teammates and coaches, as unusual for two players in the same position group to fight. That led to Baltimore parting ways with one of the biggest stars 3 weeks before the start of the regular season. Man, damn. Earl Thomas out here knocking people out, man. What's going on? Now, Dallas is leading in the votes to, well, not the votes, but they're leading in signing Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas, basically, if you remember, his wife was about to kill him for having being butt naked with chicks along with his brother. They was knocking down some chicks at his private home somewhere out there, and his wife was finna blow his brains out. So the Seattle thing, I really don't want to get into that because I believe he was frustrated and I believe he played because he didn't want to lose that money. And then when he got hurt, it was unfortunate, but he got a big deal to be in Baltimore. My thing is this with Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas, like, honestly, he's the greatest safety to me since Ed Reed played, like in football. He's the best safety since that time. Sean Taylor would have been better than all of them if he didn't die unexpectedly. But Earl Thomas is a great free safety. He puts people in great position to make plays. But last year, he did have a lot of lapses in the defense. And he made the Pro Bowl. Most people are feeling that he made the Pro Bowl because his name is Earl Thomas, which I don't have a problem with. They do that with a lot of white quarterbacks or white players or white offensive linemen, but they don't get criticized, right? Now, Earl Thomas has to understand, you have had a bad rap. When you get a bad rap as a black player in any sports or any job you're at or any job you go to, if it's something on your record to say you were a bad employee or you did something detrimental to the company, that is effective to you. Now, Dallas is a perfect spot for him to go to. San Francisco, yeah, people are saying Richard is speaking out. San Francisco does not want this guy. San Francisco has a good secondary. They're fine. They don't need Ed Reed there because if Ed Reed go there tripping, they gonna choke him. One of the D linemen gonna go back there and choke the hell out of Earl Thomas. Now, to me, Earl Thomas is a great safety. You know, he's, let's see, I want to pull up what the boy did. Um and he's a free safety. And people also said that he was late a lot of times to the meetings, and that was the last straw for his career. He's played in 140 games. He's had 30 interceptions, yards returned 455, and two TDs. He played in Seattle. He was drafted 2010. He played in Seattle for 9 years. So basically, his first year, he had 76 tackles, 64 solos, 12 assists, one tackle for loss, two QB hits, one forced fumble, no picks. He started all 16 games because you know it's a bye week. Then he had 69 solo and 29 assists in 2011 with 98 total tackles, with six for losses and one QB hit. And he had two fumble returns, and he had a forced fumble. Yeah, and he played all 16 games. Um, in 2012, he and he had a TD in 2012 for a touchdown. He had 3 interceptions. He had 5 picks his first year, 2 his second year. In his third year, he had 3 picks, 66 total tackles, 42 solo, 24 assists, 2 for losses, 2 QB hits. And then 2013, he had 16 games he played, 16 games started, 5 picks, no TDs that year, 2 forced fumbles. Um he had no returns. He had 105 tackles that year, 78 solo, 27 assists. No tackle for losses. In 2014, he also played 16 games. So he's played 16 games and started 16 for 6 years. And he had 5 interceptions. In 2015, he passed deflections. He had 7, 7, 8, 9, 5, and 9, and then 10. So basically, he's a baller. In Baltimore, his first season, he played 15 games, started 15, had 2 picks, 4 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble return for 6 yards. 49 together tackles, 32 solo, 17 assists, 2 for losses. So basically, Earl Thomas has had a real good career. He's a Hall of Famer in my book. But with this stuff here, they could try to use it against him to take away his Hall of Fame. He's a 7-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All Pro, and a 1-time Super Bowl champion. So he has championship DNA, and he's only 5'10", 202. For him to play, let's see, he played how many seasons? 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. He's played 6 seasons, all 16 and 14, and then 15. So he's very durable. He's gotten hurt a little bit, nicked up, but for his career, he has been very durable. But what are you going to get when dealing with him? He has a lot of baggage. You know what I'm saying? So, and he's at the end of his career. He's 31, so they're not going to give him a huge contract. He's going to try to look for one, but I don't see him getting a big contract. He'll probably get a 2-year deal at most, if that. He might just get a 1-year deal. So, to me, to me they let him go because of the off the field issues, as well as he has some different things going on in practices. Like, he was coming late to practice, and he would leave early at times, and just doing the extra stuff. To me, it's like this: Baltimore has always been a great organization. You really don't hear, you really don't hear a lot of players badmouth in Baltimore. There hasn't been a lot of players who've left Baltimore who's badmouthed them. Ed Reed, even when he left, he didn't badmouth him. Ray Lewis, when he retired, Terrell Suggs, when he left, he didn't really badmouth them. So they're really not a bad organization, and John Harbaugh has been a solid coach. He's way better than his brother. I don't know why they give his brother all this credit when his brother took a team from Mike Singletary and he ain't do nothing with it and cost him the championship, not giving the ball to Moss, but that's another story. So, what is your guys' opinion? Do you feel Earl Thomas is damaged goods? Do you feel he would fit with a team, and who do you feel he would fit with? Dallas right now, they want him. And he's gotten a bad rap, but what I look like is I'd look at him, he could go to Dallas. To me, he ought to look at going to Oakland. Try going to either Oakland or Dallas. Oakland, people are really sleeping on Oakland. Oakland could do something this year, but hey, Who knows? But everyone's saying Dallas is in the lead to get him, but everyone knows that Jerry's gonna be cheap as possible. So he might go, he might not. Right now he has no choice because he's damaged goods. And if he was to go sign with Dallas, that's his last stop unless he balls out and he's under his best behavior and then somebody else offer him a big contract next year. But he's 31. Usually safeties, they're done about that age because of the hits they're giving, the games they play in, the impact from coming from that deep to attack somebody in the hole, especially making tackles, making picks, and that. Even though the game softened up, you still take a lot of hits. So, like I said, let me know in the comment section where you think Earl Thomas will go. If you think he's a great fit for Dallas or what other team, I think he ought to go to Oakland if he has a chance to and reinvigorate his career. Well, not Oakland, it's Las Vegas now. I'm tripping. Man, Uncle Frank could cuss me out for me saying that. Shout out to Uncle Frank, man, Bay's own. Um, I'm trying to think. That would to me be a good pick going to Las Vegas, but hey, what do I know? Las Vegas to me, Arizona, Dallas, yeah, he could, but Dallas always choke every year, so but Oakland and Arizona could be good pieces for him to go to, you know, or Atlanta, but who knows? We'll see. But thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. Please share this video, hit the notification bell and select all. And that's all we got here. We're out. Live boy.